Imagine one of your employees receives an ordinary supplier PDF. They upload it to your company's AI agent and ask for a summary. But hidden inside that document is an instruction telling the AI to search your company files for passwords and API keys and send anything it finds outside the company. No one has broken through your firewall. No one has stolen a password. The attacker here is trying to turn the access your business has already given to AI against the business itself. And the risk is no longer purely theoretical. In July 2026, OpenAI disclosed that a combination of its models, including GPT 5.6 Soul and a more capable internal research model, compromised Hugging Face's production infra during a cybersecurity evaluation. The models were supposed to solve a benchmark inside an isolated environment. Instead, they found a previously unknown vulnerability in the software controlling package access, reached the open internet, escalated privileges, and chained together further weaknesses until they could access answers stored in Hugging Face's production database. See, this does not mean that ChatGPT will suddenly attack another company, but it demonstrates something very important. Today's AI can clearly discover unexpected attack paths, connect multiple weaknesses, and pursue a technical objective over many steps. And the AI attacking your business even may not be the AI your business uses. Your employees may use trusted commercial tools with safety filters and account monitoring, but an attacker may use a privately operated open weights model with a far fewer restrictions. See, AI will not create an entrance into a properly secured system, but it can help an attacker find, connect, and exploit weaknesses that already exists, and that too much faster than before. So the question is no longer only which AI tool does our company allow. The more important question is how far could an AI assisted attacker get into our business using the weaknesses that already exist. And in this video, we will examine what these models can already do, how an AI assisted attack develops, and how a business can identify its exposure before a real attacker does. So let's start. Namaskar, I am Dev and welcome to my channel Talent Copilot, where we talk about AI and its practical implications on your life. What you have just seen in my first example is called indirect prompt injection. In a normal prompt injection, someone gives the AI a malicious instruction directly. In an indirect prompt injection, that instruction is hidden inside something the AI has been asked to process. It could be a PDF, an email, a web page, a customer support message, or a document already stored inside the company. Our human eyes may see nothing suspicious, but the AI may read the hidden instruction and mistake it for a legitimate command. The risk becomes much more serious when the AI is connected to real business tools. If it can search Google Drive, read emails, access the CRM, prepare refunds, or execute commands, a manipulated instruction may affect more than its response. Open Worldwide Application Security Project or OWASP warns that prompt injection can lead to sensitive information disclosure, unauthorized use of connected functions, manipulation of important decisions, and unintended commands. This is what makes AI agent security different from ordinary chatbot safety. A chatbot can produce a dangerous answer, while an AI agent can potentially take a dangerous action. See, Frontier AI labs use several layers of protection. The model may refuse to harmful requests. The service may filter dangerous content, monitor account, restrict tools, or suspend repeated abuse. But the underlying capability of a model is much greater than what the public product allows people to access. Take Anthropic's Mythos for example. Anthropic said it autonomously discovered dozens of exploitable zero-day vulnerabilities That means those vulnerabilities that nobody knew existed and successfully chained multiple Linux kernel bugs together to create a full system takeover. The company concluded that the model's potential blast radius was too high for a general release, and thereof it remains available only to a limited group of vetted organizations, primarily for defensive cybersecurity work. For broader use, Anthropic released Claude Fable 5, which shares the same model as Mythos but with toned down capabilities around cybersecurity, biology, and other sensitive areas. See, Anthropic here did not simply make the base model less intelligent, it placed stronger controls around the capabilities most likely to cause serious harm. When a request triggers those safeguards, it may be blocked or routed to a less capable model. We need to understand here that those controls can shape how a company operated service behaves. They cannot guarantee how every powerful model in the world will be operated. With a downloadable open weight model, an operator may be able to change system instructions, modify refusal behavior, remove external filters, or run the model privately. See, that does not make an open weight AI inherently dangerous. The same flexibility benefits researchers, developers, and cybersecurity defenders and organizations that need local control. But once powerful weights are distributed, the original provider may no longer control how every copy is operated. We need to understand here that AI does not need to create the weakness, it generally accelerates the attack. It still needs something to work with. It could be an outdated website, a weak password, an exposed cloud folder, poor API access control, a secret in source code, or an employee persuaded by a convincing message. AI does not automatically create these weaknesses. It helps an attacker find them, understand them, and connect them faster. Think of an AI led attack in four stages. First is discover. An attacker can collect information your business has already made public: employee names, job roles, email formats, suppliers, technology mentioned in your job listings, and document indexed online. And individually, these kind of clues may appear harmless, but AI can organize hundreds of small clues into a map of the company. It can help identify who approves payments, who manages technical systems, and who regularly communicates with outside vendors. Now, the second part is deceive. That map can be turned into a personalized message, not the old phishing email with bad grammar and obviously fake request. The message here can mention a real employee, supplier, or project. It can imitate an invoice query, recruitment message, customer complaint, or a request from management. And it can be written in professional English, Hindi, or any other regional language. The attacker still needs someone to believe it, but AI can make the message more convincing and create many variations quickly. Now, the third part is test. AI can help a technically capable attacker interpret error messages, analyze publicly visible application behavior, and decide which possible weakness deserves more attention. It does not guarantee access to a secure system, but when a weakness already exists, AI can reduce the time required to recognize and investigate it. And now the last one is scale. The attacker no longer has to perform every step manually. Research, message creation, and parts of the testing process can be repeated across many businesses very quickly on scale. The attack does not need to work every time. It only needs to become inexpensive enough to try against hundreds of potential targets. That is the fundamental shift we are talking about. AI can reduce the time, knowledge, and labor required to turn an existing weakness into a real attack. We need to understand what the current benchmarks, including cyber benchmarks, actually mean. When a company says its AI scored 70% on a cybersecurity benchmark, what does it actually mean? See, it does not mean the AI successfully hacked 70% of the businesses. Different benchmark test different stages of a cyber attack. The first stage is understanding the code. SWE Bench Pro gives an AI model a real software repository and asks it to solve difficult engineering problems. Leading models can now complete through 6 to 8 out of every 10 tasks in the benchmark. The current SW Pro benchmark for Mythos 5 is 80.3, Fable 5 is 80%, for GPT 5.6 Soul is 64.6%, for Kimi K3 it's 63.4%, and for GLM2 it is 62.1%. See, SW Bench Pro is not a hacking test, but to find a vulnerability, the attacker must first understand how the software works. The same capability that helps a developer find and fix a bug could help a malicious actor search a code base for weaknesses. Now, the next stage is proving that a weakness can actually be exploited. ACC Bench Pro tests whether a model can produce proof of concept code that demonstrates that a vulnerability is real and reachable. And GPT 5.6 scored 71.2% on this benchmark compared with 45.8% for GPT 5.5. So you can imagine how the era of AI is rapidly advancing. But still, proving that a vulnerability exists is still different from taking control of the system. That's what exploit bench tests. It gives the model a previously discovered vulnerability and asks it to build a working exploit. The highest level is arbitrary code execution, meaning the exploit allows the attacker to run their own code on the target system. And on 41 vulnerabilities found in Google's V8 engine, Mythos Preview achieved this level on 21 out of them. And on 21 vulnerabilities found in Google's V8 engine, Mythos Preview achieved this exploit level on 21. In simple terms, the model did not just identify the weaknesses, in more than half of those cases, it turned the weakness into a path for taking control. And Anthropic then tested Mythos against recently patched Firefox and Windows vulnerabilities. It developed 8 working Firefox exploits in roughly 12 hours. For Windows, it built 8 complete attack chains that moved from a low privilege account to full system control. These statistics matter because it shows when the model is allowed to continue testing, correcting, and trying different approaches, its chance of producing a working exploit rises. And this is where a malicious actor benefits. The attacker still needs to choose a target and find an initial opening. But AI can help with the technically difficult work in between, reading the code, identifying a weakness, developing an exploit, and testing different approaches. And this capability is not limited to most restricted models. UKAISI and US Center for AI Standards and Innovation also tested Kimi K3 and GLM 5.2, two leading Chinese open weight models. They were tested on a simulated corporate network containing a 32-step attack path across approximately 20 machines. A human expert would need roughly 20 hours to complete this exercise, while Kimi K3 reached step 17 on average and completed the attack in 1 out of 10 attempts, while GLM 5.2 reached step 11 on average. It shows that increasingly accessible models can already complete substantial portions of a long multi-stage cyber attack. See, it does not mean that AI has become a hacker pro max by itself, but it can increasingly help an attacker understand code, find a weakness, turn it into exploit, and repeat that process at scale. Work that once required substantial time and specialist expertise is becoming faster, cheaper, and easier to repeat. Sit back and think once, what does this mean for your personal work, life, and your business? Now stop thinking about the model and benchmarks for a moment. Think about your business from the outside. An attacker does not see an exposed document, an overprivileged account, or a weak API as a separate problem. The attacker looks for the path connecting them. A public employee profile can help create a personalized message. That message may expose an account. That account may reveal a document, and the document may point towards an internal system containing customer data. No single step here requires a magical technical breakthrough. The breach can emerge from ordinary weaknesses that were never examined together. So, the practical question is not only do we have vulnerabilities, it is if one weakness is exploited, where it could lead next. So, how do you discover these connected weaknesses before an attacker does? That is where an AI security exposure audit becomes essentially important. It is a controlled attempt to examine a business's security posture in the modern AI age. Its purpose is to answer one question: using AI assisted methods, how far could a real attacker potentially get, and what would stop them? Certain has also warned Indian organization about generative AI risks, including prompt injection, data poisoning, and confidentiality concerns when sensitive information is submitted to third party services. See, this audit should examine five areas. First, external exposure. What can someone discover without logging in? That includes public websites, exposed services, administrative interfaces, forgotten systems, accessible documents, and information that could help profile employees or suppliers. Second is identity and access. The audit identifies valuable accounts, check whether multi-factor authentication is missing, and examines whether employees or service accounts have more access than they need. The goal here is to understand how far an attacker could move after obtaining one identity. The third is website API and data exposure. The audit checks whether access controls work correctly, whether information can be reached without proper authorization, and whether files, backups, cloud locations, passwords, or API keys have been exposed. It also examines how separate weaknesses could connect. The fourth here is AI integrations. If your business uses AI agents, the audit examines what those agents can see and do. Can an external document manipulate them? Can they access confidential data? Can they send emails, issue refunds, modify code, or execute commands without human approval? And are those actions logged somewhere? A secured AI system should remain safe even if the model follows the wrong instruction. And fifth and the final one is detection and response. Would your company notice suspicious behaviors? Are imported action logged? Who receives the alert? Can access be disabled quickly? And does someone clearly own the incident response? See, discovering a weakness is only half of the job. The business must also know whether it could detect and contain the exploitation. An audit is useful only when it leads to action. It should not end with a 100-page technical report that nobody understands. It should clearly show what an attacker could reach, how separate weaknesses could connect, what the business impact might be, and what should be fixed first. Do it with clearly defined safety boundaries, evaluate your external exposure, identity and access paths, website and API risks, AI integrations, and detection gaps. Then turn the findings into a prioritized action plan so you are able to understand the business risk, the technical team knows what to fix, and the management knows where to invest first. See, the objective here is not to create fear. It is to replace unknown risk with evidence and a clear plan to reduce it. And the best thing is you can do and follow this entire process with the help of AI only using frontier models. See, AI is not a magical hacker, but it can help attackers discover, deceive, test, and scale faster than before. And models with weak or removable safeguards may reduce the friction even further. The greatest risk is not simply which AI model your company uses, it is what an AI led attacker could discover about your people, systems, and data, and how those weaknesses could be connected. So do not examine every weakness in isolation. Look for the path connecting them. Find that attack path before a real attacker does. Because attackers are already asking AI where businesses are vulnerable. Your audit should answer that question first. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Talent Copilot, and drop into the comments below if you need any help with this kind of audit, including guide, process, workflow, and prompts. I will see you in another video. Bye bye.